Let's unite on the basis of Muslim. That's idealistically, we should be able to do that. But we all know that being a Muslim is not a monolithic idea. Someone just said before I came to this podium that we are addressing these issues through the lens of culture, many different lenses. Someone said to me once, we need a Muslim state. I said, better yet, we need an Islamic state. See, if you're going to find ideals that have gone awry, ideals that are not consistent with Islam, then just talk to Muslims. But if we want to see the pure guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then we have to look to the Quran. And we also have to look to the practice of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was perfect in his demonstration of al-Islam. We should work for unity on the basis of al-Islam, on a belief in Tawheed, a word that means oneness, the oneness of God, a belief that this oneness dominates everything that's in existence. When we can see it like that, then we can see that our Lord is one Lord, and that this creation is one creation, and that this humanity is one humanity. We're fooling ourselves if we think that we can unite not on the basis of not recognizing work that has gone on before. We can't ignore work that has already been done, even though much of that work may have been erroneous because of a lack of knowledge. I came to what we believe to be Islam in 1968, and I was dedicated, sincere. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided us to come to the Quran in the light that Prophet Muhammad, praise and peace be upon him, established for the Muslim world. But we can't just dismiss all of that and say it means nothing, because no one came from abroad to bring us any information. So when we see Islam established in America, and Islamic knowledge is growing among us, it is growing among the indigenous population of America, but it's also growing among those of you who are coming here. So we all are benefiting from the growth of Islamic knowledge in this society. We're all benefiting. I look at your faces, I know many of you, we've worked together for years with the same objective, the same idea of establishing Islam here as a viable, contributing part of this society, and as a model community that others can look at and get guidance. So we have to respect whatever method or school of thought that we choose to come from. We have to respect that. But that has proven not to be a point of unity for us. The alliances that we build should be built upon purity, the purity of al-Islam. Recently, a person said to me, my relatives are Kafir. He was born here. I responded to him, I can't call my mother, who respected me more after I accepted Islam than she did while I was in the streets. She respected me. Or my relatives who respect me, my brother who may not be Muslim who respect me, and who oftentimes have behavior that's better than some of our behavior. So why should I harm that relationship by saying I can't have anything else to do with it? And I'm not saying that that's what we do, but I work with populations, and sometimes people get information and they think that they should condemn everybody as a kafir, even if someone disbelieves. If we haven't done the job of getting this information out to the least in this public, if we have relied upon Fox News to do the job for us, then that won't work. So we can't unite on the basis of me having to call people Kafirs when I know Allah tells us in the Quran that we should invite all to the way of Islam with hikmah, wisdom, mau'idat hasan, and beautiful preaching. And not to be insulting, to be nice. We have to unite on something that's real. Tawheed, the oneness of God. And we have to work to change those things that are occurring among us that we know is not Islamic. Our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that if you see an evil, go into action, change it with your hands. And if you're not in a position to change it with your hand, then speak out against it. And if you're not in a position to do that, then at least hate it in your heart. And he said that's the weakest of faith. So there are oftentimes things that we know that we should address, and we cannot address those things, or we cannot change those things with our hands. We can at least pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he will put us in a position one day so that we can address those things that are harming the whole community, the internal things as well as the external things. Put us in a position where we can address these issues that are affecting all Muslims. And it is a wonderful thing that we're here to meet, but so often we do meet, I'm giving it up. We do meet and we give nice, beautiful political speeches, and then we walk off and go back to these places and wait until the next time we meet. But let's, inshallah, work on these issues and work to address the challenges that face us here as a community. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار.